Can you be more attractive if you are able to spend long periods of time alone? I'm here to tell you yes, and I'm going to share with you exactly why at the end of the video. Blaise Pascal once famously said, all of humanity's problems stem from you not being able to sit in a room quietly alone. Now, who is Blaise Pascal? Blaise Pascal was born in the 1600s, and he was a physicist, mathematician, and most importantly known as the creator of the roulette wheel. Now, I'm going to share with you some of my backstory and how I believe being able to be comfortable spending time alone will attract what you want into your life with minimum effort. Over the last 6 years, I have traveled alone across the world. I've been to Europe, and most recently I moved to Australia. I arrived here on my own and I had $3,000 to my name. I didn't know anyone. I just decided 3 weeks previous I was going to apply for a working holiday and I was going to leave my hometown and travel to Australia. I didn't know anyone. Decided 3 weeks previous I was going to move to Australia. I booked a flight, I got on, and the rest is history. And it's the best thing I've ever done. Now, previous me would have been too scared to leave the city on his own. Fear of getting lost, not knowing anyone, you get the point. Most recently, I moved away from Sydney. I left a 4-year relationship and all my friends. I traveled to the New South Wales country. I didn't know anyone, and it's basically taught me a lot about myself that I didn't know. I bet you've been in a position where you may have stayed in a friend group a little bit too long because you worried that if you left that friend group, you would have nothing to do on a Friday night and you would no doubt feel lonely. Or you may have stayed in a relationship for far too long because you thought, if I leave this relationship, I've spent all this time with this person, I don't have much outside that relationship and I will end up lonely. Don't worry, we've all been there. The funny thing about this whole situation is that by fearing being alone and holding on to things far too longer than you should, you actually prevent attracting the things that are meant for you into your life. You don't create that space. You stay in that position, in that environment where you don't belong, and it basically just stops you from being in a space where you can actually get what you want into your life. So it's pretty much counterintuitive. And the funny thing is, when we are in relationships or environments where we feel that we don't belong, also we feel lonely in them positions as well. So it's really strange that we can't actually let go of this thing for fear of being alone. What I've come to realize is when we're able to spend time alone and enjoy our own company, it is just a superpower because you don't have to rely on anybody to make you happy. You know, there's been plenty of times where I wanted to go out for breakfast on a Saturday morning and I was probably not confident in myself previously, and instead of going to a cafe and sitting there having breakfast or coffee on my own, I would not go because my friend wouldn't come with me, so I'd actually miss out on that opportunity. When the truth of the matter is, if I'd actually gone there on my own, I may have met a cute waitress, I may have met a new friend, but because I wasn't comfortable being alone in my own skin, out in the public, I actually closed myself off from all these opportunities. So being alone is an absolute superpower, and it's very important that we practice putting ourselves in positions where we're not around our group of friends or our partner, and we actually venture out on our own and we put ourselves in environments that we do feel uncomfortable because it will make us feel comfortable in the long run. And a thing that I've noticed as well is when I'm actually going for a walk or I'm sitting at a coffee shop on my own with just my thoughts, it's the only time we actually get to think about what we do actually believe to be true or not. Because when we're in an environment where there's a big group around us, it's very easy just to get sucked into what they believe. And sometimes people don't want to actually say what they feel or what they believe because they fear the group will just laugh at them or tell them what they think is ridiculous. So when we're on our own, we actually get to think about what we want to do with our lives, how we feel about this situation. It's very introspectual. Best thing about being able to spend time alone with yourself and be completely happy is that as we get older, we're going to lose our parents, we're going to lose our friends. If we're in a relationship, we could lose our partner. So when we're able to just be alone and we're not reliant on other people, then we can actually truly be happy. And when you think about it, we spend the majority of our lives alone, so to not create a good relationship with ourselves just seems absolutely crazy. Now, we may think to ourselves that we're spending time alone, but this little thing by here makes us not spend time alone. And it's very important that when you're spending time alone, you spend it in a way where you're not quite distracted by looking at other people's lives. So a good way to spend time alone, which I love this one personally, I just love to go for a walk. I've never really appreciated going for a walk so much as I have in the last couple of years, but many of your problems can be solved by just going for a walk. Like the movement, the scenery, you just kind of like get to work through all problems in your mind, and you do come back a lot of the time just refreshed. Another way is having a shower. I like to go in the shower because I don't have my phone. I'm just there in the water and I just get to think about content ideas. I get to reflect over the day. Shower's a great way to spend time in solitude. And creating that space from outside stimulus allows the universe to give us the answers that we've been looking for. I can't tell you how many times that I've been on a walk and I've just had this great idea come to me. Like I've been questioning something that's been going on in my life, which is a bigger problem than I thought it was. And then suddenly this answer's just come to my mind and I've just worked through it. So walking is such a great way to let the universe give you the answers that you've been looking for. Now, moving to the country has basically confirmed to myself that being alone is actually a good way of getting things to come to you rather than you chasing them. And I always say, if you're chasing something, it's running away from you. So my evidence on this is at Christmas time, I'd split up with my girlfriend. I didn't have much money in the bank. I was in a bit of a bad situation and I only had 7 months left on my Australian visa. I was basically scheduled just to go home. I said to myself, I'm gonna move out to the country for work purposes. I'm gonna be able to earn some good money and I'm just gonna surrender that I won't be able to stay in the country and I will just move when my visa ends. I went to this job and I had no expectations, and luckily I was in a good state of mind and I wasn't looking for this, but they actually offered me an opportunity to sponsor me to keep me in the country. And previously I'd had go out there and communicate with the world, and you will find that you will have new opportunities and you will have new people come into your life as a result.